Ladies and gentlemen, it's time. It's Thursday. It's Korner Booth pregame.
No debate, cause it's off. I'm too official, got the drip, I got the sauce. Bring the proof when it's time to tell the truth. I'll be at the corner booth, find me in the corner booth, yeah. Still standing and defiant. Slay the competition, cause I'm walking like a giant. Bring the proof when it's time to tell the truth. I'll be at the corner booth, find me in the corner booth.
Love to see this team add another receiver, whether that's trade or free agency.
It's okay. Pittsburgh's the AARP retirement home.
There's a bunt record. That person's never going to have to worry about that thing ever getting broken.
I hate analytics. I think has ruined the game I grew up loving.
I will do unspeakable things for the Giants to win this rule.
Oh, God. See, now I just wait until it stops doing all the crazy stuff in the background. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome in Korner Booth Podcast, official first episode, I guess, of season 14. We are back, obviously. We started last weekend with the Big 12 preview and we also talked AFC South. AFC East with Ryan McCarthy, which was definitely a fun time. We love Ryan, and also Kevin stopped by from Tailgate in the Quad. That show will be uploaded this week as well. We realize it's not fair to you guys that our Thursday shows, which have previews of, like, obviously what we think is going to happen in college football or pro season, because basically we have so much content to cover in the month of August. We're bouncing both previews between shows. So obviously today is our ACC preview for football school. And obviously, because, you know, Nate and I are both ACC guys, we're going to talk a lot about Miami, North Carolina, Cal, I forgot Stanford's in the ACC. Clemson, FSU for some reason, and in many more, obviously. We'll talk about that a lot. Thursday is AFC South and NFC South preview. We have a lot of guests coming on. It's going to be a fun time. We're also going to talk a little today about preseason week 1. I believe, Nate, is there a Monday night game tonight? I don't believe there was. No, there is not. Thank you, Nate. Oh, by the way, our producer Nate's here. Say hi, Nate. Nice haircut, by the way, buddy.
Thank you, boss. Good to see you. Yeah, no game tonight, unfortunately, but they'll get back at it on Thursday. Congrats to your boys, by the way. Your boys look good. Your boys did look good, I will say.
I'm nervous about Landon Dickerson. He's
well.
week to week, though. It's week to week. So, like, he may miss a week or two. I believe it's a meniscus sprain, but it's not bad. We're okay. The problem is in the preseason, still very low on headlines this year. It's been a very quiet preseason in terms of, like, drama. So, yeah, the sky is falling. But you know it's not falling. You know who's a hell of a travel companion this week? My boy, Matty. Matty, your Jets looked okay on Saturday.
They did. I'm not going to get too excited because it's just preseason. Justin Fields had a great drive. He went 3 for 4. He had a 14-yard touchdown run. So when any team scores on their first drive of the game, that's amazing. However, holding in the hype and the excitement until the regular season starts. But great start, great weekend, and I'm cracking open one of your favorites over here, a nice little garage beer. I'm going to try it for the first time right now. I don't know. I haven't opened it yet, but
here we go. Doing the McCarthy. All right.
Oh, it's pretty good.
Right?
It's nice,
solid light beer. Listen, that is my go-to golf course beer, by the way. Is garage beer.
It gives off like Miller Lite vibes.
As the beer I was raised on, yeah, it kind of tracks. Big garage beer guy. Shameless plug, by the way. I love their beer because it is my favorite golf course beer because I can drink 3 of those or 4 of those in a round and be definitely fine to drive home. I probably will below a 0.04. Not even like I'll be good to go. So like that's the kind of beer you drink on a golf course to pass a breathalyzer. Holy crap. You can tell I'm still getting back to it. Last week I drove so much. So I did the math in my head roughly. I drove almost 1,600 miles last week. Between driving to Virginia and back and then driving to Ohio and back. So I will give my co-host credit, Matt. He did at least offer to assist me in the driving, but because of enterprise rules, I had to drive the car the entire time. So But when I did my trip down to Virginia while we didn't have a show on Monday, my coworker Denny offered to drive a couple times, which was fine. But then obviously he asked if I could take over once we got the Jersey. And, getting on the GW at 6:00 at night in New Jersey, anybody from those in New Jersey, New York, Connecticut, gone. So awful, terrible. A lot of travel. So I guess 2 days back. I love how, by the way, I got to give a special shout out to my cousins. We have a cousin fantasy league. I'm part of 9 cousins, right? All but one, my sister, she's not football. She goes Go Eagles, and that's basically it. Are playing either in some form, either with their boyfriends or girlfriends, wives, husbands, whatever. Or we're all in a league. I'm the commissioner. They're a bunch of savages. They're worse than me in Kevin's league. And I thought that league was brutal. My cousins are awful. They're cutthroat as hell. Not awful isn't bad, but they're like, it's cutthroat. And they're like, my cousins texted today. We run in the back. I'm like, yeah, I'm asking you guys, should I do something fun this year where we auction off highest pick in the draft or something like that? I kind of want to mess with them a little bit.
I'm always down for, one of my big money leagues, and no matter where you finish the previous year, every year we start the draft off with either one of those wheels that you can do an app for, or you put a bunch of names in a hat and then they pull names and that is your draft order. We never go based off of the previous year's finishings because it makes it more fun, kind of like a lottery thing with the NBA. You know what I mean? A little more fair though.
Yeah. I mean, I would love to just go to the commissioner. Nate, you're muted.
Oops. Sorry. That's fine. Go ahead, boss. I'll save my point for later.
You're good, bud. In the issue, the thing is, it's like, so these cousins of mine, they know how big of a Birds fan I am. So they drafted every Eagle possible. I'm not kidding. Saquon, AJ, Jalen, Devontae, Dallas, Eagles defense. I had no Eagles on this roster. Except for, I think, Jahan Dotson. And it was a little infuriating only because I knew they were doing it just to annoy me. If they just did it randomly, I'm like, that, it sucks, but that's the draw. No, they went out of their way to go and move up and get guys. So I kind of want to do some shady stuff this year, but I know I'll get called on it. Just not even to win, just to start messing and sabotaging everybody because I kind of felt a little attacked last year. I'm like, I set up the league and you guys all were going at me. I hate all y'all. We also had one of my cousins who knocked her boyfriend of 3 years out of the playoffs on a technicality because I expanded the playoffs to 8 teams instead of 6. And she wrote a paragraph of how that was BS, how these last 2 don't deserve to be in it. She wants her bye week. And I'm like, you realize you're knocking your boyfriend out, right? And she goes, yeah, I'm okay with that. I'm like, savagery. So I love it. I told them just now in the text chat, I will take care of this after the show. I may yell at all of them first to be like, you guys better start being nicer to me. I'm the one who sets up this damn league for you animals. So it should be fun, though. I think we're going to make them do a buy-in this year because we still owe Caroline my winner. Shout out to my cousin C. She had Joe Burrow and Saquon, so.
Ooh.
Yeah, she had back-to-back. I think she had back-to-back. No, she had Joe. She had a loaded team. But it was a good time. But I'm trying to currently right now try to set up a golf game with. I got everyone and their mother texting me right now. It's funny. I literally was gone all weekend, Matt, and my phone rarely was going off, which was kind of cool. I swear to God, I woke up this morning. I actually overslept. I woke up at 9:30. I'm like, was I that tired? Like I haven't slept in that. I haven't slept in that late since I was unemployed. I was like, what the hell? So
I got home at midnight. I probably went to bed around 1, and then I woke up at like 6:45 to let the dog out and feed him breakfast, and then I went back to bed till 10.
Yeah,
I had a Nate moment.
Yes, sir. Oh,
yeah, Nate.
Go ahead, boss. My apologies.
Yeah, I will say this though. I lost train of thought. Oh yeah, Nate, your sleep schedule still scares the daylights out of me. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
It's terrifying.
I have a question about a fantasy league I'm in. It's for best ball. It's
That's a Jared question because I don't know best ball.
Oh,
I hate
okay.
best ball. I want to despise it. I want to kick it into the sun.
Well, just hear out my team, though, because I know y'all love it. I'm going to get your opinion real quick. My quarterback position is Josh Allen, Cam Ward, and Matthew Stafford.
Matthew Stafford's hurt, I think.
Cam Ward.
Oh. Well, yeah, no, Cam Ward's great. Running back, Chuba Hubbard, Alvin Kamara, David Montgomery, Ramondre Stevenson.
I don't like Ramondre, but I love the rest of it.
Okay.
I think Ramondre is the next land of the lost running back.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie.
Trevion Henderson's going to be the rookie of the year this year. I'm telling you right now. He's my sleeper. If it's not Cam Ward, it's Trevion.
Yeah. Receiver, Jefferson, Tyreek, Judy, Shakir, Keenan Allen.
Dude, you kind of nailed it on the receivers, buddy.
I always do. And then
yeah,
tight ends.
Even Shakir is a sleeper because Josh Allen really liked him last year.
He sure did. That's why I got him. Tight end is Kelsey, Njoku, and Dallas Goedert.
Ooh, okay.
Shout out to Cedar Grove's finest, baby, Mr.
Yes,
David Njoku.
Yes, sir. That's my team so far.
I love it. I absolutely love that team. I really do.
Some
I
Shefty
still hate
news.
best ball. I want to literally punt it into the sun. It's the stupidest idea ever. It is literally defeats the whole point of fantasy football. If you're going to do that, just go do DraftKings. Draft a team and go.
Some Schefter news from about 3 minutes ago. So they're saying longtime Steelers defensive captain Cam Hayward, amid hold-in, strongly suggested Monday that he would be willing to miss regular season games as he seeks to renegotiate a contract extension that he signed in 2024.
Isn't he 1,000 years old at this point?
He just signed a contract extension last year.
I don't listen. I don't want more
money.
So yeah, he wants to negotiate for more money. Yeah, I think he's in his late 30s. I mean, he's a Steelers icon. He's he's going to be beloved and remembered by that organization for the rest of the time. But I don't know, man. I understand if you signed an extension maybe like 2, 3, 4 years ago, and you got a year left or 2 years left, and you're at the top of your game, and maybe you're not the highest paid at your position, but you deserve to be. I can understand wanting to renegotiate, but when you just signed something last year and they just extended TJ Watt and now they have everything in place, now you want to hold out? I don't know, man. I'm not a football player. Obviously, I'm just a fan. But if I signed something a year ago, does that a bad look on the agent if you want to renegotiate it already? Like, how come? What are you not happy about something it's about a year old? Maybe not even a full year old.
36 years old, 8 sacks, 71 tackles last year.
I mean, he's not top 10 anymore, but I mean, he's still serviceable. He's still better than a lot of defensive ends in this league still. But
yeah,
he just signed it last year.
Selfish, I tell you.
Jeez. All right. So yeah, I will say this for record. I hate best ball. I want to punt it in the sun. That'll be my last point on that. Anyway, so we had a lot of preseason games this weekend. I got to watch a lot of Ted McMillan versus Shedeur Sanders. I openly admitted, I said, listen, I am all willing for Shedeur Sanders to make me eat crow. I really am. I want the kid. I don't think the kid is a bad kid. I just think he's overly cocky and overly confident, and he needs a little humbling. But hell, if he earns what he's doing, go for it, man. Like it's not I'm rooting against the kid. I want the kid to succeed, but I just think he's too cocky for what he played against. But I'm with it. By the way, Shiloh is still my favorite Sanders over Dion or Shedeur. I'm a big Shiloh Sanders guy. Anyway, his KFC video is the funniest thing I watched today. Anyway,
I didn't see the Tampa Bay game, but I did see some highlights, and it looked like Shiloh had a pretty good game.
Yeah, it looked okay. Back to his brother's game. Shedeur looked like he can hit the throw a little bit. I think he's still learning, hey, you can't extend a play by running backwards like a chicken with his head cut off for 5 minutes. Loved watching Ted McMillan work. He's got to work on the concentration. He had a couple drops, including one that was a touchdown. But I thought Ted McMillan looked great. Me and DJ are riding the go train for him. I think the Ted McMillan hate is really stupid. I think he's Vincent Jackson with Drake London's polish. I think
Andy Dalton is still a Carolina Panther.
Yeah, Red Rocket at this point is just like making the AARP roll.
I want to shout out Bryce Young. Had a great game, 4 for 6, 58 yards and a touchdown. it's a guy that we, for the first couple of years, we all thought that he was going to be just a ginormous bust in the NFL, but he turned his career around second half of last year, played a lot better, and he had a pretty good start to the preseason, which I think is going to be really good for his confidence. So shout out to him. Sure Sanders, like you were saying, great game, 14 of 23, 138 yards, 2 touchdowns, played a clean game, no picks. That was really good for him. I like Shador. By the time he got past round 3, I was really hoping the Jets would take a flyer on him just for the hell of it. I mean, at that point, it's low risk, high reward once you got to round 4 and 5. But he played very well. I think he silenced some doubters, and I think that was something he really needed. Right now, I think they said he's QB4. But if he has another performance like this next week, I think he's going to slide up that depth chart, especially with Dylan Gabriel hurt.
I'm just saying, I had a lot of fun watching my boys play. Dart was dotting them up.
Dart looked good. Abdul Carter looked unconscious. He was out of control.
3 pressures he 3 pressures.
The big 3,
amazing.
The big 3 rookie quarterbacks all look good this week.
Yeah, Cam Ward. Hey, look good. Great drive.
I love I think it was Nico over at Elite Takes said that he's the most he's the most I guess the cockiest thrower of the football. There is not a window he cannot hit. Arrogance, the word he used. And I said, you know what? That's kind of accurate because there's really not a throw Cam Ward can't hit, at least in his brain. I swear the crossbody throws used to give me almost a stroke when he was playing quarterback at Miami. But I think in all, he is what we thought. I'm telling you right now, he's what we thought Caleb Williams was going to be throwing the football. Not running because Caleb Williams is his own athlete, but Cam Ward's athletic enough. But he is what we thought Caleb Williams is going to be mixed with like a Big Ben, like just a athletic thrower of the football, hits everything down the field, can extend plays. I love every second of it. By the way, this is courtesy of Sleeper TV and Sleeper's Twitter. So
I'd never seen the Titans O-line be protect.
They were playing pretty well. I mean, the Bucs also had backups in at this point, but still, it was not bad.
Yeah. But shout out to him. Shout out to Ward, man. Look good. My guy looked good. Shadir looked good. Tyler Shuck looked good after
he threw a dart apparently last night. Like when me and I were driving, we got
only 7 points. There we go. Oh. I'm back.
Okay. Oh. Well, there it is.
There you go.
Did we all leave or was it just me?
Technology.
Technology. All right. Well, no, you're right. Chris looked pretty good on Sunday. Threw a couple of good balls. We got to get him a Tyler Shuck jersey for Christmas. We have to. You know what we'll do, and when me and him hang out next, I'll make sure he wears it when we go bar hopping. And he goes, "Yeah, I play for the New Orleans Saints. Nice Tyler Shuck. I want to see if we can get a beer or two."
Oh God, Jake Hayner is going to be cut so quick. But yeah, no, Chris looked good, and for purposes for anybody watching this that has no idea who our old co-host and soon-to-be comeback co-host is, Tyler Show looks exactly like our old co-host and soon-to-be coming back, Chris Lipoff. He had a rough start with that interception, but he bounced back with that 54-yard touchdown. He really settled in. He completed 15 of 22 for 165 with the touchdown and interception, but he really cleaned it up towards the end of his time in the game. Rattler looked okay, 7 for 11, and Hayner is going to be on that block.
What a fall off. We all thought next chance you Rattler was going to be that, or was it QB1 or whatever the show he was on. He looked unconscious. Now he's like okay.
Also, to highlight this New Orleans backfield, like I was talking to Jared about it the other day, Alvin Kamara and Kendry Miller. You also have Cam Edwards. Oh my gosh, Cam.
You okay there, buddy?
I just short circuited. I needed a tune up. Alvin Kamara, Kendry Miller, Cam Akers, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, and Velus Jones Jr. What a backfield! It's just that's at one point.
Backfield, yeah.
At one point, 3 of those 5 were starting running backs in the NFL for different teams, which is just funny now that all 3 of them plus the other 2 are now in one backfield. Well, that being said, Velus Jones is going to be gone. Probably Clyde Edwards is going to be gone as well. And Cam Akers, I don't know. I mean, he'll probably be over Kendry Miller. Maybe. Actually, maybe not.
I'm with it. You know what? What was the other point I made? Oh, I think everyone's got to calm down a little bit. The only players we should be really looking into for the preseason are guys coming off of injury and first-year starters or rookies. I think everyone's got to relax. The preseason's awesome. By the way, shout to the Jaguars kicker who banged a 70-yarder. And it wasn't even like a crossbar. He knocked it through by about 10 yards.
Now, are they saying that it's not going to go down in the history books because it's a preseason kick and not a regular season kick?
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's stupid. I think you should give it to him because it's not like he's against backups. It's like special teams, there really is no backups. It's like everyone goes with 3,000% on special teams.
I got to be honest. At that point, like that kicker, man, I'd be like, listen, buddy, you made the team. You kicked a 70-yarder. You made the team. Congrats. Another, like as you were saying, first-year starter, rookie, whatever, J.J. McCarthy fits in that bill. Played okay. 4 for 7, 30 yards, no interceptions or touchdowns. He also ran for 8 yards on a rush.
Mm-hmm.
Looked okay. He had a couple moments where he either just had either some iffy throws, maybe forced some passes in, some incompletions, but played all right. Sam Howell actually looked really good, 11 for 13.
Mm-hmm.
For some reason, Brett Ripien is still hovering around. Addison was his favorite target, 3 receptions for 33 yards and 3 game suspensions. He loves threes. And yeah, there it is. Nate liked that one. And this past Saturday, whenever that game was the day that I realized Davis Mills is still a Texan.
I mean, listen, lifelong Texan, old Long Neck Mills himself. I'm with it. Like, he actually is not a bad backup quarterback. Like,
no. I mean, at this point, he's a veteran, experienced backup that has starting experience, so I'd take him as a backup if I had to. But, hey, there's nothing wrong with a career backup. You could be a career journeyman, make millions of dollars every now and then, play till you're 40, 42.
And then go on a Fox TV show and make an absolute ass of yourself. Chase Daniel.
I thought you were going to say Fitzpatrick.
I wanted to square up with Chase Daniel since about the second he started working at Fox. I'm like, dude, you are a loser. I think he has more. I think Johnny Manziel has more passing yards and completion percentage than him in his career. And dude played for 20 years.
I'm not a big Daniels fan, but I really like the pre-show and the halftime panel with Sherman, Fitzpatrick, and Whitworth and others.
Oh, he's not Amazon. I love Amazon's. Amazon is great. I hate, except for my boy Shady, obviously, because that's my boy. I could barely stand James Jones. You guys know my opinion on Joy Taylor. I think she's super talented, but I think she airmails takes too much. And then I cannot stand Chase Daniel. I've wanted to fight that guy for years. So that's my. When I heard their show got canceled, I was doing the Cabbage Patch a little bit. I was like, yeah, Chase lost his job. Let's go. Because Shady's he's too big of a talent. He'll find a way in. Chase Daniel was terrible. His takes were awful. His Jalen Hurts hate literally made my bones grind together. So, there's that.
Yeah. Some other games. I've heard that Matt Stafford may be injured. Looking at the Cowboys game, Joe Milton looked okay. Just bullet passes to anybody, no matter what the distance of the receiver and the quarterback.
Yeah. So I have a great analogy about that, by the way. I got to give a shout out to the creator who actually brought it up. I believe his name was, I know the guy's name is Ben himself, but it was on Lunch Table Sports. And he said, Joe Milton is the Happy Gilmore of quarterbacks. There is no finesse. It is straight gasoline, no brakes. And I love it. Honestly, if it wasn't for the Cowboys, I would be so hyped to see Joe Milton just in practice flick his wrist for a 70-yard touchdown. Like that to me is absolutely insane. But
and then shout out to like the third-year rookie, 27-year-old Stetson Bennett played the entire game for the Rams. Actually played pretty well. 16 to 24, 188 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Blake Corum had 2 touchdowns on 32 rushing yards. Rams won 31-21. The potential future of the Rams is in the hands of Mr. Stetson Bennett, possibly. Which is very terrifying.
I want Stetson Bennett just to stay clean, man. I felt bad what happened to him. I mean, yeah, it was his own fault, but you want to wish good. I want to give a shout out to Josh Hamilton, by the way. So me and Matt saw this on Friday. I believe he was inducted into the Rangers Ring of Honor. Dude looked healthy. He looked sober. He just looked good. I grew up loving Josh Hamilton as a kid. I hate the Texas Rangers because of the 2023 World Series, but his Texas Rangers, I was a fan of. Him, Beltre. I believe Nelson Cruz was on that roster. So was Elvis Andrews. So was Ian Kinsler.
Joey Gallo?
No, that was pre-Joey Gallo.
Sorry.
But yeah, that 2011 Rangers team was so much fun. Yes, it's good to Josh Hamilton doing okay. That makes me happy because he had a really rough. He had a really rough. Joe Nathan, hell of a closer, hell of a soul patch too. But yeah, no, what Josh Hamilton had to go through, especially with the death of that fan and everything else, it sucked. I felt awful for him because he had come such a long way. But yeah, and he's paid for his mistakes. I'm really happy Texas is giving him his flowers because he's one of the quintessential players of that franchise's history. So congrats, Josh. But yeah, that was I think honestly preseason it's weird right now. Like we're gonna see obviously the little headlines here or there, but we'll kind of work our way through it. It's kind of we're gonna see things on and off. I was pretty happy. Preseason football was entertaining. I was happy. Shout out to Cooper, number 41 on the Eagles. Might make the team as a backup. I'm hyped for the kid. He was out of a Concordia State or something like that. I'm like, dude's unconscious.
You're never wrong about Tanner McKee, boss. I tell you, I thought he was.
I keep telling y'all, Tanner McKee will be the starting quarterback of the Jets, Colts, or I'll throw one more NFC team in there just for fun. Yeah, Jets or Colts right now. We'll just start with that. Or maybe Jaguars next year. This kid is such a talent. I love how he found him in like a 6th round, and he's done nothing but sling the rock, and he was unconscious. Just it looked effortless to him against Cincy. Against their starters, by the way. So a little sad about how bad Keely Ringo was. I was talking to a Bulldogs fan this weekend. She was mentioned about talking about pro dogs about Brock Bowers. One of my favorite pro dogs, Keely Ringo, looked really bad against Jamar Chase, and it really hurt to watch. He got smoked on a double move out on a comeback route, and I was like, oh, it wasn't a double move. It was just a simple curl or come. I think curls inside, right? Curls inside route. Receiver inside position, curl route. Yeah. So he got burned. He got smoked on a curl route, and I was like, Keely, no. But yeah.
Highly recommend getting that in 26.
We talked to Max Lobes about it already on Sunday. I'm copping it. I will try to see if I can get it on discount, but I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna see if EA will throw me a discount for having EA play. I think
the intro was lit. Oh my god, the intro was lit.
Nate, I haven't gone on Xbox since probably Thursday. I will go on tonight and check.
Yes, me too, Matt. Come on. Oh wait, fudge.
I had to get a system.
Well, no, wait. Kelsey said he'd sell you his Xbox.
Yeah, he did. He said he barely uses it. He gave me a good deal, about $300, which is still 100 and something cheaper than I have to just wait for the funds to come in for that. But
yeah, me too. Especially since I'm not working tomorrow. What the hell, Jim? Sorry. He's doing me a solid. I do need to get a new job though. All right. You guys ready to talk some ACC ball?
Ready?
For you, yeah, but for not.
Should I just start playing Trick Daddy now, or should we wait a little bit?
We have no running backs.
Nate, they're actually going to put Nate out there, and it's going to be really Nate's like going to be out there. Or they're going to go get Marshawn Lynch to come out there and like to say he's like the Leon Sandcastle, like with like the wig, like they're going to have him shave his dreads.
I'm not looking forward to watching the Bears.
You guys actually on your roster? Do you actually have running backs for Cal?
We have running backs. We have running backs. They're just not good.
Wait, do you have running back or running backs? This is very key here, Nate.
I got you. We have 5 running backs that I've never heard of in my entire life. And I mean, and I do my research, boss. You know that.
Yeah.
We have a sophomore transfer, a junior transfer, a senior transfer, and then a redshirt freshman and a freshman. So don't know why they wanted to come here, but we have Devin Brown.
There you go. I love the optimism, buddy.
3-9. All right, let's talk about
3-9.
We're not.
Oh, buddy,
dude, we're not making no bowl game.
You know what?
Uh-oh.
I could see them having at least 6+ wins.
Against who?
I'll tell you. So pull up Cal's schedule. We'll go through this together. I genuinely, I'm going to walk you through this. We got an hour talking ACC ball. You know how amped I am right now. This is my freaking Christmas. Go Kings, baby.
Yeah, I love to have your optimism.
Well, right. I have to. Like.
Oh, no, I know. All right, boss. Here you go. We got Oregon State.
Okay. Listen, I'll give you a fighting shot against the Beaver.
Then we have Texas. At home, by the way.
That's
at
Texas
home.
Southern. Texas Southern. That's a win. That's a win. Go first. Okay. That's a coin flip. Okay, so let's say 2-1, 1-2.
Okay.
You gave me 3-0. San Diego State. Boston College, that's probably a loss. Duke loss. Carolina loss. Hokies loss. Virginia, I'll give you a win there.
Yay.
Ooh.
Louisville.
Yeah.
Stanford. SMU.
Stanford's a win. Louisville's a loss. SMU's a loss. So what are we looking at? That's what? 6 and 5?
6 and
6. Nate, okay, let's go through the wins. Let's go back down. Let's start over. So let's put this together. Okay, so wins are going to be Oregon. Oregon State might beat y'all, but Texas Southern and Minnesota, I'll give you all wins.
Okay.
San Diego State, I'll give you a win. Lost to Boston College, lost to Duke, lost to North Carolina.
Yep.
Lost to VT.
Yep.
You're going to beat Virginia. You're going to lose to Louisville.
So 5.
You're going to whoop Stanford.
Thank God.
And you're going to lose to SMU.
Fantastic. That's 5.
5? All right, hell. I'll give you one more up front. I'll give you Oregon State. I can see it, man. You got to believe 6 wins for Cal. Nate, I'm going to put this bet right now. I literally in a talk yesterday at the conference said I would not do over-unders because I don't trust teams with over-under wins. I'm going to do Cal plus 6 wins. We're doing this together, okay? This is for you, buddy.
Yay. I'm sorry.
Right. I believe in Cal. I believe in Cal football.
Before we continue with the ACC, Shefty has been working hard lately, so he just put out the Nevada Supreme Court ruled in favor of John Gruden in his appeal against the NFL.
Ooh.
Per ESPN's Don Van Natta Jr., this means Gruden will now get discovery in his day in court alleging that Commissioner Roger Goodell has and the NFL improperly leaked his emails leading to his firing as Raiders head coach.
I mean, he wasn't the best coach in Oakland, in Las Vegas and Oakland, but
he was very good for the first 10 weeks of the season.
Yeah. Listen, what he was in those emails, awful. Not good. But the way they were leaked, everything was so sketchy. Legally speaking, there is a case there for him to be made. Does he deserve to get his job? He wasn't a great coach, and what he said was not great. So, was bad. So, does this give him some financial conversation? Is Portnoy paying him a ton of money at Barstool? Sure. So, there you go. Happy ending for Johnny Boy.
ACC.
Yeah, ACC. All right, so let's be honest. All right. It's all about Clemson and Kate Klubnik and freaking that defense that scares the bejesus out of me. I'm sorry. I just had to quickly put my win totals for Cal. I'm going to try to lock it in right now just for Nate. If it'll
What's
let me.
Over or under?
I believe it's like 5.5.
That is correct. 5.5.
So I'm taking the over. Because, like, dude, if they hit the 6, I'm like, I'm dancing to that Pitbull song, Don't Stop the Party. I'm going nuts.
See, was it Chris that would always say life's too short to bet the under, take the over? Was that Chris or was that DJ?
Technically, that would be Mr. Big Cat would say that. But Chris would quote him. So, yeah.
So nice.
Cade Klubnik, they have got great receivers like Williams, Wesco, and TJ Moore, all combined last year for over 2,200 yards and 21 touchdowns. Like I said, I talked about that defense is disgusting. They are the favorite. Let's not split hairs here. Clemson has the veteran coach. They have the veteran quarterback. By the way, last time we played Miami, he lost to us, by the way. But they are still the best team in this conference on paper to start the season. That's the only compliment you're hearing them. But everyone knows I hate Clemson. I always have. I always will. I'll just say that right now. Now the number 2 squad coming out of Coral Gables, Florida, coached by Mario Cristobal, and with the most overly hated quarterback in college football, Carson Beck. It's the Miami Hurricanes, who had a rough end of the season last year. Basically, their entire secondary was decimated by injuries. By the end, they had one starter and a bunch of freshmen, and they got decimated. Also, having one of the dumbest offensive coordinators in football. I mean, defensive coordinators in football kind of screws you and has you lose to those schmucks up in Syracuse. But they had an incredible transfer portal on defense. They brought in Carson Beck as well. I want you guys to understand how deadly this is. My Miami 2 minutes, okay? I want you guys to understand how deadly this running game is going to be this year. You guys know Mark Fletcher. I called him Baby Derrick Henry. The kid runs hard. He runs downhill. He's hard to bring down. Then you enter in Jordan Lyle, who broke the Miami in-game record for top speed hit on a run against South Florida. We hit, I believe, 22 miles an hour. It might have been higher. It was 22.6. Dude's out of control fast. He's a sophomore. He ran that belt well as a true freshman. There's also other running backs that have been added to the mix, such as Chamar Brown from North Dakota State. And they're bringing back Francis Mauanoa, one of the best tackles in the country, projected top 10 pick. On receivers, they brought in Matt's boy, CJ Daniels, along with Keelan Marion, who was one of the bigger play threats at BYU, to join Ray Joseph and Josiah Trader, 2 very young, explosive receivers that Miami recruited. And Elijah Lofton, who, spoiler alert, is a better tight end than Elijah Arroyo already. The reason he go to the draft, he's a freshman. Arroyo is Elijah Lofton is a freak. He's a freak. Okay, we thought Elijah Arroyo was crazy. Lofton is even more out of control because Loft can block. That's the scary part. Imagine Brevin Jordan with some muscle. So that makes it even crazier. On defense, this is where it gets awesome. You bring back Ruben Bain and Akeem Mesidor. Both had great seasons going into the next. Armando Blunt, Justin Scott, David Blake. There's so many veterans coming back. But what is crazy is the guys they added in the secondary, which makes me just give a little shimmy shake. All right. Everyone knows about, obviously, Wisconsin's favorite ball catcher, Xavier. Is it Xavier White? That's the kid's name.
From
the kid Wisconsin that they're suing Miami over, and it's kind of a joke. They also added Ethan O'Connor, Jacob Thomas, Zachariah Poyser from Jackson State, Kamal Bonner, and OJ Federic is the only returning starter from that secondary who had a great freshman campaign. It is is it Zamir? Oh, what is the kid's name?
You talked about it last week. Dang it.
Xavier, it's Xavier. Oh, Xavier Lucas.
There you go.
Xavier Lucas. That is the guy I want you guys to watch this year in the Miami secondary. He's a phenomenal player, multiple positions. Mario Cristobal. Listen, as much as I love the fact Carson Beck. Everyone's wondering why are you so high on Carson Beck? Because the alternative was Emory Williams, who could not hit the broadside of a barn against Iowa State in that bowl game. That was our options. We have Luke Nickel, who's a great freshman quarterback, but he needs a year or two to cook in the oven. I'll take Carson Beck at that point. Like the kid needs a win. He has been getting crapped on since the SEC title game. I feel bad for the dude. Yes, he looks like Sid the Sloth. Who cares? The poor kid's getting roasted by his ex-girlfriend, who is a media attention hog. Let's be honest. That's literally her and her sister. That's what their business is. He gets his Lambo stolen, but you talk the talk around Miami. If you actually go into the locker rooms, you talk to the reporters. He's kind of about it. He's a hustler. He wants to work. He wants to win. And I think this is the best receiving core he's had since they won the national title at Georgia. So I'm optimistic about it. I think Beck's going to have a good season. I don't think he's going to have a Cam Ward-like season. Like, Beck is not going to be a Heisman winner or a Walter Camp winner or anything like that. Will he have like a Ken Dorsey-like season? Yeah. I think he'll be good enough for us to get to the playoff. It's 12 teams. I think Miami could be one of the 12 best. So that's my summary there. That's me talking Miami. Boys, any thoughts on the Hurricanes or the Clemson Tigers, the two, I'd say, favorites?
Yeah, I'll talk about both of them. I think looking through ESPN, they've got Clemson rated as the favorites right now for the ACC. So talking about Clemson, retaining Kate Klubnik, who Kate Klubnik actually, stats-wise, actually had a very good year last year with 33,639 passing yards, 36 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. So they retain him. They have wide receivers Antonio Williams and Bryant Wesco Jr. And also defensive line Pete Woods and TJ Parker coming back. Last season they did lose in the first round as they went 10-4, I believe. They got a slight improvement. They did get a slight improvement from 23 to 24. 23 they went 9-4. This next year they won that extra game, so they did a little bit of a slight improvement. Looking to improve again in 2025. I gave you Klubnik stats last year, and I think the biggest thing I think with them was that defense last year allowed 160.6 rushing yards, which was just the worst in, I believe it said, nearly 50 years of Clemson, according to ESPN. So that defense last year, that run game was really a killer for them. So if they can spruce that up, I think they could actually make some serious damage in the ACC. However, going to Miami, so we all know Miami lost guys like Xavier Strepo, Cam Ward, Arroyo, some guys on the defensive line. But they did gain Carson Beck. Miami also received an overhaul in the transfer portal, and they have a young secondary, and they got a new defensive coordinator, I believe.
Yes.
So they got a new coordinator, which is big because we were.
It could be this guy calling the defense, and we'd already be a better team.
Yeah, I mean, call it how it is. If Miami,
Shane Waldron deserves to be sent to the sun, along with best ball games, people driving slow in the left lane, guys who clap when the plane lands. All those horrible things that everyone hates.
Yeah. So new defense coordinator, which I think call that how it is last year. If Miami had a competent defensive coordinator calling the plays, they would have made the playoffs.
Yeah.
They, like I said, missed the playoffs last year because the defense projected to have the best offensive line in the conference right now. Some prove-it moments. They got Notre Dame and Florida early on in the schedule. So back in 2024, ranked top 10 in the conference, 3,485 yards passing, 28 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. So Miami is a much improved team compared to last year. Yes, Carson Beck maybe is not the player that Cam Ward is, but they improved that line. They improved that defense. They got a new coordinator. They got a bunch of Trent guys in the transfer portal. I think you're going to see a much improved Miami team and defense overall. My key to Miami overtaking Clemson, because that's who it's between these two. I'm looking at, obviously it starts with Carson Beck at the quarterback position. I want to see him cut those interceptions in half from 12 to at least 6. And I want to see those touchdowns increase from 28 to at least 34, 35, maybe 36. Yeah. It's cliche to say, but if you can cut those interceptions in half, increase those touchdowns with this improved team, Miami should be taking the ACC at the end of the season.
So my biggest thing is, and he talked about this actually. He goes, I was playing too much superhero ball at Georgia. And he's right. He was trying way too hard to win games when Georgia had such a loaded defense last year. They easily could have if he just chilled out. If he just trusts Shannon Dawson's offense, that made Cam Ward that helped Cam Ward become a number 1 overall pick, that fooled America into thinking that Tyler Van Dyke wasn't an absolute moron behind the center. Also helped Derek King get Heisman notability. He's got to stick to it. If he does, he's going to have his career year at Miami, and he will probably get drafted in the first round this year. And there will not be a doubt because Shannon Dawson's offense, God bless that man. I hope Miami locks him in the state of Florida for the next 10 years. Him and Mario Cristobal is the dynamic duo how to raise Miami to get a championship trophy. He's a quarterback whisperer, but unlike Lane Kiffin, he doesn't have to touch the defense. So, or not Lane Kiffin, Lincoln Riley. I am a firm believer in Shannon Dawson that the offense help Cade Columbus. Nice, gross. Carson Beck. So, Nathan, my friend, thoughts on Alabama, Clemson and Miami. Holy hell, I'm losing my mind.
Well, I'm excited for your boys, boss. I mean, look, you talk about Carson Beck. You have a new DC, right? If I'm not mistaken. Corey Heatherman, right?
Yes, it is Corey Heatherman.
Yeah, so he's gonna. I heard he's good. I heard good things so far.
He's better than Shane Waldron, which is fine. Basically, yes. Like I said, we could have this guy coaching us, and we'd be better off on defense.
And then you obviously have the big game against Notre Dame. But look, from what you've been saying about this game for quite some time, you guys beat them. When you guys beat them, it seems like the schedule looks pretty manageable the rest of the way. I mean, we're talking. What are we talking about here? Boston, BCU, South Florida, Florida State. Like the schedule looks good, and I have a lot of confidence in you guys. I know Carson Beck had a quote unquote struggles in Georgia, but let's be honest, we look into it closer. It was his receivers that kind of let him down, not so much him. He didn't make his mistakes at times, but it was his receivers that let him down. So hopefully, especially with the breakup he had with one of the Cavender twins, kind of brings out the motivation.
I think that was the best thing for his life.
Yeah, I think it was too. I think it was.
We love here on this podcast. We're all for it. I think that was the best thing for him to get rid of that whole media circus. So I wish the other Cavender twin and Jake Ferguson all the best. I truly do. Yeah, I want my quarterback to be dated. And this is not just because he's our quarterback. I didn't know who Jalen Hurts' wife was until literally last year. He's been played for my team since 2021.
Yeah,
they got married. Nobody knew about it. Josh Allen and Haley Steinfeld. She is one of the most famous actresses on the planet. Nobody knew they were dating for like the first 6 months. Nobody knew they were engaged until he announced it. Nobody knew they got married until they announced it. That's how it's supposed to be as a quarterback. Aaron Rodgers, nobody knows who his wife is. Okay? So that's what a quarterback should be. It should not be a media circus. And I'm sorry, the Cavender twins are a media circus. Listen, girls, hustle. Get your money. Get your bag. Keep working. Make the best of your situation and keep working for it. But stay away from my quarterback at college because, I'm
excited to see what he can do. I'm excited to see what he can do with Miami this year and hopefully raise his draft stock from what it would have been if he entered the draft last year. As for Clemson,
the smartest thing he ever did was transfer to Miami. I think this kid just saved his career.
No doubt. I 100% agree, boss, for sure.
He went from being Stetson Bennett to possibly being
hopefully, up there.
I'm trying to think of a good analogy for Carson Beck, what I think he can be. I was going to say a less brain dead, at least throwing the football, Will Levis. That's such a hurt to Carson Beck, though.
They just named Ty Simpson as the Alabama starting quarterback.
We knew that was going to happen, though.
Oh,
Kelsey talked about it on Friday when we were all sitting around watching football. But so I think Carson Beck is going to he's a potential to save his football career, and I think Miami was the first step in it. So congrats, Carson, and congrats on the single life, my friend. It's not the worst thing in the world. It is not. All right, the rest of the teams. So they talked about like Miami, Clemson is the odds-on favorite, but then you throw in like all the teams below them, SMU. Then you throw in Louisville, Though it's a weird year for the ACC because then you could also throw in like maybe Tech makes a run. Maybe Duke's got something going on because Manny Diaz is building a decent program down there. I think SMU with Rhett Lashley has a great chance to really keep building this program, and they have a returning starter quarterback. They not only that Kevin Jennings, not only that, they bring back a lot of other guys. But the problem is, and this is where my issue with SMU is, Clemson exposed how soft, not as in like toughness. They're a finesse team. They remind me of like the old Oregon teams under Chip Kelly and Mark Helfrich, where it's if you hit them in the jaw, they can't recover fast enough. I'm sorry, that Miami team who was awful down the stretch, or even that Syracuse team coached by whatever his name is, the coach. I don't want to give him the time of day right now. Clemson, it's probably Clemson and Miami because SMU's getting smoked. SMU cannot play physical football. They cannot play against SEC or Big Ten teams, and it shows clearly because Miami and Clemson are built to play SEC and Big Ten teams. It's how they're built, how they're structured. Mario coached in the ACC and the Big Ten and the Pac-12. Dabo Swinney coached in the SEC, then obviously came over and has been dominating the ACC for almost 20 years, 17 year this year. So I think this is the next team that's got to make the jump to get the bigger guys up front, to have the more physical run game. Listen, I love that Brashard Smith, former Miami Hurricane, got drafted thanks to his run at SMU. I'm just telling you right now, the physicality needs to step up. I love Kevin Jennings. I think he's a hell of a player. He's a sleeper of mine to win the Heisman, along with, of course, my boy from South Carolina, Lamar Sellers, and a few others. I'm not buying the Archie Manning hype at all. I think the kid needs he needs a full 2 years to develop. I think he's a hell of a talent. I just think him and his uncles and his daddy and his granddaddy all know it's a 4-year arch project at Texas, not a 3 year. So, but yeah, I think SMU is an interesting team. The other teams I think have a somewhat okay shot. I'll throw two at you right now. I'm not the biggest. I can't give. They're saying you got to give some nod to FSU. They're bringing in Castellanos from BC. I'm not a fan. I think the program itself is broken. I think that program died when Jordan Travis's knee got snapped, or his ankle got snapped. I think they have not recovered from it since. I think Mike Norvell is coaching a wounded dog, and they're going to go in. They're going to play some teams like SMU, Clemson, Virginia Tech, Miami, SMU, and they're going to get smoked. It's not going to be fair to them at all. In all true honesty, I think there's only really three contenders for the title. Dark horses, I'll give you Louisville. I'll also throw in Duke, and give me NC State because they can play great defense. But barring something, and I like, as much as this kills me to say it inside, the schmucks in Atlanta, the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets, I have to give them their flowers. Haynes King is a veteran quarterback, and they have a lot of firepower in that offense, and they just keep getting better and better, even though they have the lamest ring of all time, showing their upset score over Miami. I hope we kick their butts up and down the field for hours. But, karma comes to those who wait. I'm not a fan of Belichick in North Carolina. I think this is going to take a year or two to come together. I would love to see Tech do good, but I just don't think Beamer ball is going to work. Or sorry, I think it's Justin Fuentes ball now. Or no, Brett Pry. Sorry, shows how out of date I am with Virginia Tech. And then, no, they're not giving any love to BC. I love it. Syracuse is projected to go losing record. I love that, man. Fran Brown, I'm going to watch your program burn and just keep chucking gasoline on it.
Their schedule does not look good whatsoever.
I love it. I am a bitter man towards Syracuse. I want to just keep – They're burning.
If they just all they need to do to not piss you off was just not say anything in that last game.
Yeah, if they just won and they walked off, I would have said fine. He goes, I told Dabo we got you. All right, we'll see you in November. I hope one of our guys breaks your quarterback's breaks his helmet. All right, like maybe a couple of hits out of bounds. We'll play some old school Miami ball against y'all. Just we'll make it personal. Because at this point, like, dude, shut up. You're a loser in terms of that conference. You literally took off an upset team and you beat a bunch of freshmen in our secondary. Congratulations. Kyle McCord was your only hope to go winning because now you're going to suck for the rest of your coaching tenure when you're eventually fired. Loser. Syracuse, by the way. So, wait, boys, do you think it's time after we do the preview? Do you want to finish off the show with Jared's official first of the year 2025 Hierarchy of Hatred College Edition?
Oh, I forgot we did that. That was that last year.
Presented by Righteous Felon, by the way.
Indeed.
Of course.
All right, so all the teams I mentioned, who's standing out? Who do you like? We'll do predictions in a minute.
Sure.
We talked Duke. We talked North Carolina, NC State, Louisville, Florida State, Cal. What's there? What do you guys like in the rest of the conference? Open floor here. Open discussion.
I agree with everything you're saying. Looking at, obviously, we talked about Clemson and Miami. SMU, I think, is going to be a scrappy, tough-fought team this year. Made playoffs last year. I believe they went 11-3 in 24. Kevin Jennings coming back. Their defense ranked 18th nationally in a stop rate of 70.3%, 26 in total yards allowed with 4,564, and 32nd scoring defense, allowing 22.1 points per game, and 26 nationally in total defense. The only thing I think that's going to be keeping them away from being contenders in the ACC outside of Miami and Clemson is just the fact that their schedule has been increasingly more difficult this season compared to last year. So I give, obviously, Clemson and Miami that edge over them with that. Georgia Tech showed flashes last year with some games, but I believe they went 7-6 last year, 5-3 in the conference. They retained Haynes King, like you were saying, but they need some significant improvement to compete for that conference. I think they'll be scrappy. I think they'll be a pain in your side, but I don't think they're serious contenders for the ACC. Some long shots that I've got. Duke, they have key defensive guys returning and a much improved offensive line, and they have Darian Mensah at quarterback coming on that team. They've made progress over the last few seasons, and they should see some improvements with that offensive performance, but they still have a year or so away of progress from being some sort of conference contender. And then North Carolina, I like Bill Belichick being there. I think him coaching in college is going to be a way for him to get back to the NFL. He is not, obviously, as we've seen the last handful of years, I think he's so old school coach that I think this new school is just starting to outdate him. So I think it's good for him to go back to college and maybe adapt to how the younger kids operate. Maybe that'll help him translate back into the NFL with some newer school football if that time opportunity presents itself to him. I agree with what you're saying. I think they're a couple years away from being a serious contending program with the ACC, but he does have a 5-year deal, I believe. So he has time, as long as they're patient. But he is one of the greatest coaches of all time, period. So I would have plenty of patience with him if I was North Carolina, except, obviously some people by his side may cause some disruption, but hopefully he gets back to being, Belichick, just adapts to some new football. But they've got Bill Belichick, a head coach, gives him a chance to to maybe better adapt to how the new age of young football is played, like I was saying, some positives with the schedule. They don't have many out-of-state trips on their schedule, I believe, per ESPN. They have a handful of, I believe, out-of-state trips that they have to make, and 5 of their opponents failed to make a bowl appearance last year. So fairly easy schedule. It's just the fact that, no Drake May, no Marion Hampton. Probably going to be some growing pains in year one. Yeah. That's what I got.
I'm good with it. Nathan, I want to finish this up here and we'll do hierarchy of hate and get our butts out of here. You did, brother.
That's the second time today. Holy crap.
Buddy, you got to breathe. You're good. I know you missed us, but you got to breathe.
Nate, why is Cal going to win the ACC? Let's go.
Why? Because every other team in that conference somehow suffers a tragic accident that allows us.
Jeez. Oh my God! I mean, I know Jared just said how he hopes his team bashes some quarterbacks' heads in, but I mean, you're hoping for
helmets, not the heads. I want them to survive and not have like CT or anything.
Well, Nate doesn't
want
hard
enough to get their win knocked out of
them. No survival.
Nate just took it to a whole new level, man. Woo!
The most polite.
Nate's out here trying to like chop heads off with this, like getting ready to take guys off with this.
Man.
Consider a Stormbreaker, whatever.
In terms of other teams, like I know Louisville, like they got Miller Moss, who I recognize from USC. He was okay there, so hopefully maybe he turns it around, for real with Louisville. They have Isaac Brown, who I like as well. Georgia Tech, you mentioned Boss with Haynes King, and they have a solid defense, like we usually do see them, if I'm not mistaken. I know Matt mentioned North Carolina. Look, Belichick being there is great. Still don't like his girl. I really don't. I know it's unrelated to football, but I just don't like her because she ruined Hard Knocks for us, but I digress.
I'm actually going to go watch the Bills one tonight. I'm kind of excited. I feel like
that one's very good. It was a very good episode.
Yeah. I haven't watched it yet, but I'm excited too, for sure.
Does my lady make an appearance or no?
Do we know, Matt?
Yes.
Yes, I'm gonna watch it too myself. And then look, Syracuse. Like I love one of my good friends. He's a Syracuse fan, and I think look, they have a lot of turnover. They lost their best receiver. They lost their best quarterback in quite some time, and they have no running game. So it's gonna be rough for them. They may surprise people depending on depending on how things go, but I just don't see too much optimism when it comes to them for sure. And then last thing I'll mention is my Bears. Look, in all seriousness, I'm looking at this. I saw the schedule again. Look, I do see 5-6 wins. We do make the a bowl game. It's just we do have a quarterback now in Devin Brown who's way better than Fernando Mendoza. He can rot in Indiana for all I care. Because Brown comes from Ohio State, which is cool. We also have the freshman. I'm not going to say his name, but it's a long name. My apologies. The running backs, we'll see what they can do. Defense, they're led by Cade Ulavalve, who is solid himself. So we'll see, man. We'll see. But I don't expect us to go crazy, especially in the ACC, which I still regret, or I still don't like the fact that we went from the Pac-12 to this conference. So, but I'll keep mine short-lived for sure. But looking forward to see what your boys can do, Jared. The U
is back, at least to not being awful.
Yeah,
I think Miami wins the ACC if Carson Beck has a decent, just plays good football. He doesn't have to have a Heisman. He just has to not be bad. Throw 28 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, hands the ball off to Jordan Lawler and Mark Fletcher a lot, roll out play action, lets the defense go to work. Miami's in the title game, and we get a rematch against Kate Klubnik, and Fran Brown can't stop us. We do have a couple rough games. Miami's schedule's rough. They have not only Notre Dame in Florida, they also have Louisville, SMU, and I believe they had one more rough game. I just was staring at their schedule. Okay, yeah, so here's the schedule. Notre Dame, obviously, Aflac kickoff game on Sunday. Then September 20th, they get Florida in Miami. Then they get FSU, which Louisville, Stanford, SMU. Then they get Syracuse, revenge is ours. Then they get NC State at home. They got to go to Va-Tech on Saturday at Va-Tech and Saturday at Pitt. The gods are in our favor. We don't have to go to either of those places on a Friday. I'm with it. Nate, you see my message in the DMs quick. Okay. Because I don't want I was worried about my spelling. I didn't want it to go bad. But yes, that's how ACC can win. ACC can be conquered by Miami. So there you go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for the first ever of the 2025 season. Everyone knows this. I am a very emotional fan when it comes to sports. I bleed for my teams, okay? The Eagles, the Hurricanes, and the Diamondbacks are basically like family to me, If you are wearing those colors, you are automatically part of my crew. Timberwolves are getting there. They had 20 years of breaking my heart to pull them away. But as we know, college football, I am very opinionated. I love college football. I've been watching since I was 9 years old. It is a blast to watch. That being said, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for our hierarchy of hate presented, and Nathan, check the spelling, by a righteous felon. I saw that last second. There was 2 S's, and I said, we're going to drop this out because my computer is a little glitchy. There it is. So, number 5. They'll always be here. They'll never leave. We play them week 1, and I cannot wait to stomp their heads in on the scoreboard, not literally. The Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Rudy was offsides. Next, number 4. Give me those weenies from Clemson. You know what? Like, I hate Dabo Sweetie. I can't stand Clay Klubnik. I hate how they are the ACC darlings. They literally walk in. They could have an awful season, and the ACC will kiss their butt. It is despicable. I hate it. All right, number 3. Give me the schmucks from Atlanta, Georgia Tech. I despise them a lot, but they play good football. They are a hard team to beat. They, especially at home, they are just Haynes King is a hell of a player, man, and they have been a thorn in our side for a long time. And as much as I would love just to watch us kick their head up and down the field, they earned that win against us in October or early November. It might have been early November. Yes, hierarchy. I know I misspelled it. My spelling is on point today. Anyway.
There we
Number 2, Syracuse. I despise Fran Brown. They played a good game. The refs gave them all the calls they needed. There was OPI on almost every single throw down field from Kyle McCord, and they got away with it. I am a huge fan of revenge. I think is the best way in sports to get back. Syracuse is my number 2. And number 1, do we even have to consider this? We know where I'm going to go. It is those nasty, mean, debaucherous losers from Tallahassee. Nasty, and it's not even in the good way. Mike Norvell's mean machine level slop squad. Florida State Seminoles. I will hate them till go on the ground. But there you go. Hierarchy of hatred. Week 1, 2025, or preseason week 25. 5 Notre Dame, 4 Clemson, 2 Georgia Tech, 3 Georgia Tech, 2 Syracuse, and 1 Florida State. There you go. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Shout out to our other sponsors today, obviously. Righteous Felon, we talked about promo code Belly Up for 15% off the best meat snacks on the market. They were a essential tool to get me through a lot of my blue collar months during the summer. And I'm probably going to pack some more for my road trip to Martha's Vineyard later in the summer. Candips.com, promo code BELLYUP, 20 for 20% off your purchase at checkout. Listen, y'all know I used to dip. It's not a good habit. What's a great alternative? These guys are Candips. They've been featured all over America. Is the best dip alternative on the market. No nicotine, no tobacco, just natural grown hemp and natural ingredient and clean ingredients. And if you don't believe me, at least clean ingredients. I don't know. It could be made in the lab. I'm not going to make any props. I don't know. But they have a little barcode on the underside of the tin where you can scan to know what's in your dip. That is crazy. Gotta love them. Also, the best customer service around. Canvas.com, promo code BELLYUP20. And, of course, last but not least, SeatGeek, the best seat ticketing app on the planet. I just used them to go get tickets for Cody Jinks in the Bridgeport Amphitheater on Friday. Me and former member of the show, Dom, are going to go see our boy Cody Jinks. Should be a fun time. Gotta love country concerts. Promo code BELLYUP Sports, $20 off your first initial purchase at checkout. Some restrictions may apply. Ladies and gentlemen, we hope you have an amazing week. I'll be back Thursday for AFC South and NFC South previews with some old friends. It's going to be a good time. Hope you guys enjoyed yourselves. I want to give a special shout out to the folks who hosted the FF Expo in Canton, Ohio. Matt and I had an absolute blast. We had so much fun working in person with our Belly Up crew, as well as networking with some amazing people. We will have a lot of great guests coming this year. It is going to get real fast and aggressive on this show. We have not. I was chatting with a buddy of mine today at the gym. There's one show in the next 4 weeks where we don't have a guest scheduled or tentatively scheduled. That's awesome. So, that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you have a great night. For myself, Matt, and Nate, we'll see you guys Thursday for the Korner Booth pregame. Of course, check us out on all social medias at Korner Booth Pod, as well as YouTube at Korner Booth Pod. This will, of course, the rewatch of this show will be available on the Belly Up Sports YouTube tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Have a great night. Shout out to our dog, Nate, for being the best producer in the world. Peace.